Namaste students, welcome to English class. I pray for everyone's good health. This video lecture is for class 8 English. I hope everyone is having a good time learning from home. This experience of learning through online classes at home is an education in itself because this is a novelty for all of us, teachers, students and even parents. This time at home educates the value of things that we have taken for granted over the years. I believe that everyone will agree with me if I say that we miss the morning prayer at school, the birthday wishes we convey to our known and unknown friends, the classrooms, the conversations, library, physical education, and eating together with our friends. All the daily occurrences in our school that we didn't give much thought about has now become something we yearn for. So, when we are deprived of something, we long for it. In the same vein, we are going to learn about the children who are deprived of the things that we consider as basic needs. Food, shelter, clothes, and also education are considered as basic needs for every human being. Your parents provide you with all these basic needs. Of course, there is nothing wrong with it. They should provide you until you find your feet and support yourself. But at the same time, this story, Children at Work, depicts the lives of children who struggle to earn a small amount of money that would suffice their basic needs. This is the second lesson in your supplementary reader book. It so happened. This lesson, Children at Work, is actually a small part of a longer story named Trash on Ragpicker Children and Recycling, written by two women Indian authors, Geeta Wolf, and co-written by Anushka Ravishankar. The picture illustrations were provided by Indian graphic artist Arijit Sen. Now let's know more about these unprivileged children and in the process foster your listening skills and enrich your vocabulary. Let's see the characters in the story. Velu. Velu is an 11-year-old boy. He is a runaway. See, the meanings for every new words will be added within a bracket. If I explain every new word, it will hamper our process. It will slow down our progress. So, students, you should write it down when you watch the video. Everything that is inside a bracket is the meaning for a new word. And the boy Velu comes from a village. He is a runaway. He comes from a village. And the other main character is a local girl about the same age as Velu. And the place that the events occur is Chennai Central Railway Station and its vicinity. Okay, let's go into the story. Now, for our convenience, this story is divided into three parts. The first part is named as Velu the Runaway Making an Acquaintance. Acquaintance is less intimate than friendship. The story opens with Velu getting off from Kanyakumari Express in Chennai Central Railway Station. Velu was completely lost. People were walking here and there and yelling at him to move. He sat on a bench on the platform and put down a small bundle he carried. In that bundle, he packed a shirt, a towel, and a comb. There was so much noise. As you know, Chennai Central Railway Station is a very noisy place. There was so much noise. He had never seen so many people in one place except only in his village fair. Velu put down his head on his knees. He must have been exhausted. He ate only some peanuts and a piece of jaggery in the last 2 days. He came by a train to Chennai. Before that, he walked for a whole day to Kannur, where he boarded the Kanyakumari Express. He travelled without a ticket, but luckily for him, the ticket collector did not come to unreserved compartment. He could not sleep on the train because a group of men were playing cards and shouting all night. When he was sitting on a bench and didn't know what to do, a voice from behind called him and spoke to him. Hey, are you new to town? See, this story takes place in Chennai, so you will find some colloquial language in it. Velu turned around and saw a girl wearing a long banyan that came to her knees. Her hair was dry, stiff, and brownish. She was about his age, and she carried a huge sack, and in it she was stacking up plastic bottles and paper cups. She looked very odd. Velu had never seen a girl wearing a banyan, and he also wondered why she is picking up waste materials, putting it into her sack. The girl told not to stare and asked his name. He replied that his name is Velu, but he was not keen to talk to her. She looked at Bundle and asked him had he run away from his home. For that, Velu did not answer because he didn't want to disclose why he had run away home. Now, the reason he ran away from his home is because Velu's father was a drunkard who beats him and snatches money from him, and he insists to drink alcohol. She teased him again by asking, have you come here to become rich? Velu felt hunger pinching him and rubbed his stomach. She saw that and asked him to come with her if he wants food. And she walked away very fast. She walked away so fast, Velu had very little time to think. He had no choice but to follow her because he doesn't know anyone else. Also, she offered him food, which he could not refuse at this point. So he jumped and ran after her. The girl, she was not even looking back to see if he was following her. And now we have come to the end of the first part. Now, what have we learned so far in this story? This is a very simple story. We are introduced to Velu, an 11-year-old boy running away from his home because he could not take his father beating him and taking his hard earned money. He was from a village and didn't know what to do in a big city. So, it's a fish out of water scenario for him. What is a fish out of water scenario? A fish is comfortable in water, but when you put it on land, it will flap around and become very uncomfortable. So Velu felt the same way. He is a villager. He is very uncomfortable and out of place in Chennai. He made acquaintance with the local girl. We are introduced to a local girl who collects bottles and cups. She teased him a little bit, but she offered to get him food. Let's go on to the second part of the story. The second part is named as Searching for Food and a Little Sightseeing. The girl was leaving the station when Velu caught up with her. After hesitating for a very long time, Velu finally managed to cross the road amid a fast moving traffic when the girl dragged him across. She warned him to be more cautious while crossing the road, otherwise, he will be squashed. As they walked along the side of the road, Velu looked at some huge signboards and advertisement hoardings. He could not read them for they were all in English. They walked over a bridge, and Velu could see the busy roads, huge buildings, and was in the city. The girl showed him the central jail. When the book was published, the central jail was located just opposite the central railway station. She pointed at the central jail and told him to be careful, otherwise he will be counting bars inside. For that, Velu told her, I have not done anything wrong. Why should I be inside? She said, you don't have to do anything wrong. Just don't get caught. Velu didn't understand what she meant. When Velu asked what was inside the sack that she is carrying, she said things, bottles, papers. Velu didn't understand why she was collecting it, but he didn't ask any more questions because he felt shy to ask. The sun melted the tar on the road and it burnt Velu's feet. He didn't wear any shoes or chappals, and he wondered how far he had to walk for the food. After walking for about an hour, they stopped in front of a huge building. Velu can read Tamil, so he read the board on the outside that said Sri Raja Rajeswari Prasanna Kalyana Mandapam. The building was a marriage hall. There was also a sign made of flowers that said Groom J.V. Vinayagam and Bride Rani. Cars were parked outside and one of them was decorated with roses all over it. The girl picked one and stuck it in her hair. Velu thought that he was going to eat inside the hall, but the girl teased him and led him behind the hall. There they found a big garbage bin and there were two goats fighting for a banana leaf. The girl picked up a banana and gave it to Velu. He was shocked and said, Chee, I am not a dog, I am not going to eat that. As he was talking, the girl threw at him a vada. Velu could not convince himself to eat that. The girl said to him sarcastically, did you think I was going to buy food with money? I told you that I'll find you food. Now I have found it. I don't like it either, but you have to eat what you get until you have your own money. So now we know that Velu ate very little in the last 2 days. So he was too hungry to refuse this now. And the girl found herself a banana and ate it. She picked up some bottles from the garbage bin and told him, if you are hungry and you want more, you have to wait till the people inside finish lunch. But I am leaving, I have work. Velu panicked because he didn't even know where he was. And he also doesn't know anyone else in this huge city. So he followed the girl where she was going. He called the girl, hey, what is your name? The girl replied, oh, so you have been following me around even without knowing my name. My name is Jaya. Velu said, I am not following you. And then, who got you food? Said the girl. He asked, can I come with you? Where are you going? The girl said, come if you want. I have to go home to get a new set. This one is full. So Velu followed her to her home. And with that, we have come to the end of the second part of the story. So where we are in the story, the second part began with the boy following her and observing the busy roads, huge buildings and towers in the city. Velu and the girl went behind a marriage hall and ate the leftovers from a garbage bin. We know now that the girl's name is Jaya. Velu didn't ask for her name in the beginning. And also Velu decided to go with her because he doesn't know anyone else. Let's see the third part of the story. The third part of the story is named as Living on the Edge. Jaya and Velu walked for half an hour and came to a bridge. Jaya pointed at a pond of dirty water and told, "We are in Triplicane, and that is Buckingham Canal." Velu was perplexed because he knew canals were having fresh water, but the stench that came from the Buckingham Canal was overpowering. And on the edge of the canal, near some water puddles, there was a row of strange looking houses. They were made with all sorts of things: metal sheets, tires, bricks, wood, and plastic. Those look those houses looked like this. The houses stood crookedly and precariously. He told Jaya that her house looked strange and the houses in his village were made of mud and palm leaves. Jaya dumped her sack and picked up an empty sack in her house. She gave Velu a pair of old shoes without laces and gave him a sack and a stick. She told him to come and work with her. Velu was confused because all he had ever done was working on the landowner's farm, like weeding and taking cows to graze. He didn't know any other work. He asked Jaya if there are any farms in the city. Jaya laughed at his naivety and told him that there are no farms or farmers in the city. Jaya told him, "We are rag pickers." Velu was surprised. "Rag pickers? See, see my sack full of things that I collected." "You collected from where?" Velu asked. She said, "From rubbish bins. Where else?" He asked, "You collect rubbish?" Velu had never heard such a thing. Jaya told him that they collect things like paper, plastic, glass, and sell it to Jam Bazaar Jaggu. Velu was puzzled. He had heard of people throwing away rubbish, but never thought someone would buy it. He asked her why Jam Bazaar Jaggu buying this rubbish. Jaya told him that Jaggu sells to a factory, and she also hastened him to come with her. He doesn't have much time to talk with him, so she hastened him to come with her. Velu contemplated for a while. He thought, "I didn't run away from home to dig the bins." Jaya hurried him again and said, "We won't get anything if someone else got there before us. So hurry up," she said. She also teased him by saying, "Don't stand there, pose like a hero. I'm only trying to help you. Who filled your stomach today?" Velu scratched his head and agreed reluctantly, thinking that he will do it temporarily until he finds a better job. Now that seemed to be a pragmatic solution for the time being. With that, we have come to the end of this third part, and we have also come to the end of this lesson. Velu, Velu is going to work with Jaya. That is the conclusion of this lesson. Now, the title of the third part is Living on the Edge. It is an idiom attributed to people who live adventurous and risky life. But the lives of people who live in these places are also adventurous and risky in its own way. They live on the edge both literally and figuratively. Now let's get a quick summary of this lesson. Velu, a village boy, comes to Chennai. He didn't know what to do. He had escaped from his dysfunctional family. He is very young and inexperienced and was taken by surprise on seeing the lives of the urban dwellers. Jaya is a girl lives in the city and is more experienced. She is a sensitive girl who helped Velu even though he was an introvert. She seemed to have accepted her burden and gets on with it. She mocked Velu, but she was kind enough to guide the clueless boy. Now, this story is a combination of fiction and fact. It portrayed a day in the life of the ragpicker children and gave an insight into their perilous life. If you feel that the story is not conclusive and if you are invested in these characters, you can read the book Trash on Ragpicker Children and Recycling. It will be a great start to make the transition from reading fairy tales and moral stories to a more mature themed young adult fiction. So students, we have come to the end of this lesson. Now you have learned the lesson by listening and observing the video. The lecture was my interpretation of the story. It was like a summary of the lesson, but nothing was left out. Now you take the textbook and read the lesson yourself and see whether you can correlate your observations with your reading. I urge every student to do this exercise. It will help to improve your language skills. Those who don't have the book, for them I will provide a link to the PDF file so that you can read it on your mobile phone. This lesson spoke about an important social problem in India, child labor. It depicted a day in the life of these rag pickers. So with that, we have come to the conclusion of the story. I hope everyone has understood the story. I wish you all a very nice day. Thank you.